Like, just get on with it. Just get some loaded on your bloody plate. Hiya, sweet peeps. Peace and love to everyone. It's now the day after New Year's Day, which will make it Sunday. You lose track, don't you, when you're just sitting about on your ass doing nothing. But it's the day after. It's absolutely lashing it down out there in the UK. I tell you what, it's now 2 minutes to 1 in the afternoon. I've got the lights on. It's dark, it's raining, it's the north of England. We deserve it because we're a set of idiots. But, well, I was thinking back about something that happened. I don't know what it was. I was thinking about things to talk about, and then this just kind of popped into my mind, and it was something that happened to me a few years ago. But it stands to this day. Do any of you ever go to Carveries? In the UK it's very popular. Is it popular elsewhere? Carveries are where you go at weekend, usually in pubs, and you kind of go and you queue up for food, and they have this big, they'll have like a roast chicken, a roast turkey, big piece of ham, roast beef, and then you have some yed there in one of them tall white hats like a prick, and he cuts you a bit off, he'll cut you a couple. What they do, they kind of, mostly they give you the choice of two. They can't have one of each of three. They'll give you a choice of two, and there's always some idiot there arguing that he wants a piece of every one of them. Anyway, so you get a couple of pieces, and then you go and you load up with food. And the funny thing is, it's like greedy. I don't know if it's just the UK, but people are greedy as hell, aren't they? Because they get the plate and they pile it up like a bastard, like nobody would ever do in real life at home. And then I actually went in a Carvery once many years ago when they first kind of kicked off over here and they were getting popular, and there were two lads went in, obviously been to the pub and they were a bit pissed. So they get us this, and then they get us the pudding, puts it on top. So you've got a pile of roast beef and Yorkshire puddings and bucket potatoes and sprouts and carrots and all sorts of chat like that. And then a piece of apple pie with custard on top. Now, I come from the north of England, and that is not an indictment of what people are like up here. Do not go down that road. Anyway, so I remember going to this Carvery once in Leeds, because my partner then lived in Leeds. And they pulls onto the car park, and the car park's bloody even. So I think, oh, I don't like big crowds. I don't like people. I don't like humans. They're horrible things. I'd rather have my dog, like little Molly, who's just sleeping next to me. Anyway, we goes in. So it's like, yeah, what you do, you basically, you can either go in and have your food, or you can just sit and have a drink first and all that crap all. So we're sitting there, and there's a pint. Your table's ready, right, so we walks through, looks across this table, there's no bloke next to us. He must have been 300 years old. I've never seen somebody so old in my life, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, got a roast potato, and I'm looking across, and I thought, any minute now, that lad is going to go face down into his dinner, and I thought, I don't want that, because that's going to put me off my dinner. Some old wrinkly-faced, parchment-faced old git lying face down in a plate full of sprouts gravy, Yorkshire pudding, roast potatoes, boiled potatoes, mashed potatoes, carrots, peas, bread sauce, applesauce, Dulux paint, I don't know, everything. So he's got boom down there, and I'd been waiting for this meal, so you kind of, gets my meat, and I comes on, there's an idea. Why do they do this? They're like, eat like birds. My Auntie Edna didn't eat like a bird. She was a bird-like person. She was about 5 stone and ate like a bloody horse. Anyway, so she's there, and she's spooning, and she put about 3 peas on. So I leans across and I says, go on, love, spoil yourself, put a few more on. Well, my partner's like, stop that, you're embarrassing me. Oh, but there, I'm waiting, and then they like just stand there and stir, and all this time my plate's going cold and my poo's going cold, and they're standing there procrastinating, staring at these bloody trays of food. And I'm like, just Get on with it. Just get some loaded on your bloody plate. I don't know, is it me who's impatient? But they do, have you noticed that in Carveries? And then you get in a Carvery and you wait, and there's always one tosser at the end who's taking forever to decide what veg he wants. Just put it on. If you don't want it, leave it, for God's sake. But I love them, Carveries. They're great. Yeah. It's just funny watching the amount that people have. And you can go back for more, but you can't have more meat. You can go back for more veg. But people over here, if you pay £10 for something, you want £20 worth of value out of it. It's probably the same other places in the world, but that's how it works over here. And so I get people going back, and they're going back, and they're going back, and they're getting like piles of veg and everything like that. And I'm thinking, I wouldn't like to be in your toilet this afternoon after you've had all that. But where are they putting it? I've got a good appetite, but they're just eating for the sake of eating because they want 20 quid worth of value in it. It's a British thing, this. We're a centre bloody tossers, honestly. That's my take on it. Another thing, we were driving home. Another thing is old people in cars. Now I know I'm getting old and that, but I've still got all my capabilities. My reactions are as good as they always were. I'm a decent driver. I've always been driving a long time. But British Road Islands, and not everybody has British Road Islands, but on a British Road Island you approach it and you've got roads coming in from different directions. So you approach it, you give way to traffic coming from your right. So somebody's coming down a road here, but you give way till they've gone past and then go out. I'm behind this old lad. He comes up, he's crouched over the wheel like some kind of myopic mole, and he comes to this island and didn't stop. And I'm like, yeah, I were in my mouth. He just pulled out in front of all these cars. These cars are all over the shop. There's fucking horns going. Of course, he's completely oblivious of this because he's on Planet Pensioner and he's just drives round. Off he goes, leaving a trail of carnage behind him. Bloody old people in cars. Must admit, I think you have to renew your driving licence in 70. Well, I've not many years to go before I have to do that. I hope they don't ask me to take another driving test or something like that, because I've looked, if you drive past your test when I did, many years ago, it was easy. You kind of got in the car, they just said, drive up there, do an emergency stop, turn around, come up there. You've got one. It's very difficult nowadays. And you read the highway code. I read the highway code because somebody just mentioned it. I said, oh, I've read the highway code. Do you think you... And you're like, I've been driving 50 years now. I've been driving exactly 50 years now, since we were 17. So you kind of, you think, yeah, piss that. I mean, I know that. I opened it up. I could not answer one question. I got everything wrong. I shouldn't be on the road. I'm a liability. According to the highway code, I am a liability. Now, look at yourself. Whether you live in England, Wales, Scotland, America, Australia, Moldova, Estonia, Bulgaria, Hungary, the Shetland, Georgia, Alaska, Venezuela, Argentina, Tierra del Fuego, a land of fire. But you ask yourself, am I actually as good as I think I am? But you won't be truthful to yourself, will you? Because you'll just go, yeah, I'm great, I'm the best. Anyway, I just thought I'd come on and tell you about my experiences in Carveries with old people who don't eat enough and are too bloody slow when they're loading up and can't drive. I apologise, old people, I don't really mean it. Or do I? It's still pissing down out there. Anyway, it's now 7 minutes past 1. I'm going to have to go and find something to do. I don't know what to do. I can't take Molly for a walk in this. She don't like just being on the boat. I've actually taken my Christmas decks down this morning. I've got my camera on a table where my tree was, and up there was my second tree. See, there's my front door. Here we go. That's me. That's my kitchen. Untidy at the moment. And that is an English narrowboat. People always kind of curious about narrowboats because I think we're the only country in the world that's got them. They're actually basically, a normal narrowboat is 6 foot 10 inches wide. Then anything above that we call a wide beam, and they range from very short ones, about 30 foot, up to, well, they can go up to 70 foot. But here on the Leeds and Liverpool, you can't have one. You can probably get a 61 footer in, but it's the length of the locks, because here we have locks. They're a fabulous pieces of engineering. What you do, you draw your boat in, and it's full of water, and then you let the water out of the other end of it. Your boat goes down, open the gates, drive out, and then you go into another one, and it goes down like that. You can go like hundreds and hundreds of feet down like that. But our locks on the Leeds and Liverpool Canal will only take, theoretically, a 60-foot boat, but you can creep a 60-foot. But I wouldn't like to, because there's what's called a sill at one end, and if you get hung up on the sill, your boat's going to turn upside down and you're dead, and it's not really worth it, is it? Unless you want to be dead. So that's it. That's me and my boat. So I just thought I'd have a chat and drop in and say hi and Happy New Year to everybody. I just hope you have a good one, because 2021 was a complete shit storm, wasn't it? It was awful. 2022 in the UK, ignore Boris, whatever he says, ignore him. Get on with your life. Omicron, it's like it's having a bit of a cold. That's my thoughts. I'm not a conspiracy. Do not get on my case about this, otherwise, because I can get in your case back. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely time. Most people will probably be off work today. We have, because of the way that New Year's Day fell at a weekend. You kind of get a day added on. So all the people who work, because I don't, every day is Saturday for me, will be off tomorrow. Have a good break. I hope it stops raining so you can get out in the fresh air and away from the bloody idiot box. That's me done. Peace and love. And don't forget to subscribe, or I'll be round at your house ripping your fucking toenails out.